Attention Sleepless Knights. Thank you for consuming this OSI 74 product broadcast, live from the Black Knight satellite. For optimum performance and safety, your host, Mr. Lobo, asks that you please listen to these instructions carefully. When in a hospital or other healthcare facility, observe the restrictions on the use of electronic devices. Switch off before boarding an aircraft to prevent interference with communications systems. Do not operate this device in the presence of flammable gases or fumes, chemical plants, or where blasting operations are in progress. Always listen hands-free while driving a vehicle. Failure to observe these instructions may lead to immediate termination. It's time now for the show to begin. Thank you. Have a very pleasant evening.
You're not dreaming. You're waking up. This is the Sleepless Knights.
Would you look at that? Look at that thing. Look at it.
What are you looking at?
What is this? Why is it like $12 for this?
Don't you know what, Paul? Order off the child's menu.
Child's menu?
Okay, yes. That's
but I don't
all
want
I can
chicken
afford.
nuggets.
Well, I'm sure there's something else. I have half a grilled cheese sandwich, or I don't know. Just don't get chocolate milk because it's
Last time I got
that's
the
too
half
expensive.
grilled cheese sandwich, it had a bite in it.
Okay, all right. So anyhow, we're here at the diner. This is the Aunt Jennie's Route 41 diner, and this is
You're
in
stop in.
Pennsylvania. Absolutely. If you're here, come. We're here right now. So
I think if you're already here, you're already stopped in.
I guess that's true. I'm having some coffee. Sitting here at the table, of course, is Paul Sanders from Bestow TV, also producer on Cinema Insomnia, of course, and Mr. Lobo, host of Cinema Insomnia. To my left right now is Eric Miller.
Good morning.
Filmmaker. Who is calling? I can't take this right now. Dixie is showing me a telephone. But I will.
Probably important.
No, I will talk to them later. I can't do anything about any of the things those people are going to ask me about, unless I'm in front of a computer.
Take a serve it right now.
And then, so that was Dixie Delamorto trying to make me take a phone call and be responsible. That is my son Dylan giving me sass.
A side of
Right
sass.
now.
We're at a diner.
Yes, side of sass. Mm-hmm.
Where's that on the menu?
Yeah. And of course we have
Yeah, it's extra.
we have Cress Miller here
You're paying for it every
enjoying
day.
the world's most overloaded whipped creamed hot chocolate. They actually brought an extra little monkey dish of whipped cream on the side because there just wasn't any more room in that mug for more whipped cream. I've got some water here with 2 lemons. Is this your water, Eric?
I don't know.
Is that your water?
I didn't ask for water.
You didn't ask for water?
Uh-uh.
All right, then this is my water, 2 lemons. They know me because I always end up with everybody's lemons, typically. Most of those lemons are movies.
I took it, Paul.
Well, yeah, you're a midnight movie host. That's all you get is the lemon.
That's all I get. Is, you know what? I want lemon. I want to make lemonade. You know, they always say if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But
Yeah.
that is assuming that life also gives you sugar and water. We somehow have to make lemonade with just lemons.
Yeah.
Which is very hard to do. You're really just getting lemon juice.
Like a magician.
You can make lemon juice, and that's about it. But we are going to be giving our order here.
You cut.
We have our waitress has gone again. They know us here, don't they, Dixie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're diner people.
Yeah. Do you know all the waitresses' names here? Most of them.
Connie.
Yes.
Sarah.
Connie, Sarah. Mhm. All right. Nice waitress, we'll call her. She's coming back, and are we ready? We're talking to the world. We're recording right now.
You're going to be famous.
So we're gonna all give our order for all posterity.
I'll go.
All right, Cress is going first.
Can I please have your Boondog's breakfast bowl?
How would you like your eggs, ma'am?
Over easy.
And she's ordering the breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
Good
Young
to
lady.
play by
Oh
play
yeah.
time if it's
Mhm.
appropriate.
Can I have the happy chocolate?
And how would you like your eggs?
As soon as I have
And white whole wheat or rye?
white. And could I have scrapple instead of bacon? No.
You're out of luck.
No. Wah-wah.
That's sad. Sad. I'd like chip beef on toast. I'd like 1 egg over hard. No hash browns, please. And can I have a side of scrapple, very crispy?
Sure.
Thank you.
White, whole wheat, or rye?
Wait.
Paul?
Me?
Is it, I think it's your turn.
Paul, you're up.
All right, can I get the stuffed French toast?
Absolutely. Cream cheese or yogurt, Paul?
Yogurt, please.
Paul, you don't have a microphone?
No, microphone didn't work, so.
What?
I have the 2
Well, we
mics.
can share this mic, can't we?
Yep, 2
Because
turntables.
we'll go right here. We'll
All
go.
right, gentlemen, next.
I guess may I please have the 2 jumbo pancakes, and I may have warm syrup, please.
Yes, you sure can.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
What
Yes,
different
sir.
ways do you do the eggs?
Any way you want them.
Can I get soft boiled? The soft, yeah. That's
Is
what
that
I
like
thought.
poached? Would
Yeah,
poached
yeah,
work?
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
How would you like 2 eggs?
Oh, 3. I think
3?
So. Yeah.
Okay.
And pancakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 pancake?
Yeah.
Fries? Toast?
2 pancakes. No, nothing else.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Those pancakes are huge,
They
by the
come
way.
out like this big.
So you sure you want just 1?
I might just take them with me.
Okay.
Put them in your pocket.
Yeah, good luck on that one.
Recommend
Cute one. Right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
You're
you.
very welcome.
Thank you.
Absolutely much.
Do you have honey? Could you?
I can find you some.
Great, great, thanks.
Now we're ready to go.
Yeah.
We're good to
Thank
go.
you.
Well, we were already good to go,
Good
right?
to go, yeah.
Okay. Is
We
it,
got our
Poached
order in
eggs.
and-
That's all right.
so we got some extra pancakes, something to take home. We
Great.
can, we can use them as brake pads.
Brake pads?
Yes.
Can you clean your windshield with them?
Might be able to clean the windshield, you know.
Play
use them-
frisbee?
Play frisbee, use them as hubcaps. There's a lot of things that you can do. Oh wow! I'm looking at a picture from Terry Gilliam's Brazil, where
Someone was just asking if there were any cosplayers from Brazil, but they just wrote Brazil cosplay.
oh wow,
And that was my
the
response.
weird baby face mask would be interesting with the doctor's smock. What is that? I'm trying to remember what the name of that character is, but it's Michael Palin. He works for the Ministry of Information, and he's interrogating people. And I think
Did he graduate
Mr.
from-
Lint, I believe, is what his name is.
Did you graduate from the Ministry of Silly Walks?
He probably did, and then went right into torturing people.
Yeah, graduated away from.
And then Jonathan Pryce is sitting in the chair with the giant sort of straitjacket on, and this weird cage that goes over the top of his head. So either one of those would make an fascinating cosplay, although it'd be hard to be strapped to a chair the whole day at a convention.
Here you go, Eric. Do you need some ketchup for in your water?
You want a little
Good.
ketchup
No,
water?
I don't live in
We already got
Pennsylvania.
ketchup.
That's a Pennsylvania tradition, ketchup water. So yesterday we shot a little bit of a movie. Eric, you want to talk to us about the movie you're
Who is
making?
Eric?
Hi.
What if
Oh,
the listeners out there
I
don't
guess
know
so.
Eric is a longtime podcast listener.
Yeah.
Our number 1 fan.
Yes.
Our
11.
only fan.
11 weeks.
11 weeks. Yeah. Somehow you've been staying with this podcast. So that's why we decided to have Eric on the show, because he's the only one, I think, who's listened to every single podcast.
Yeah, I was in the car with you the whole time.
In the trunk.
Oh
We
man.
were wondering what the kicking was and the thumping in the back was.
Eric, I guess we should catch people up on who Eric Miller is.
Yeah.
Right?
Good idea.
Eric Miller is a visionary filmmaker, has a eclectic, humorous, intelligent sensibility. He was making movies in Virginia and contacted me in 2005 or something like
Yeah.
that. He was interested in having me play a character in which I do not act or speak. So he was obviously aware of my abilities.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
But basically, we had a character where he was just talked about. The character was talked about, and then we needed a photograph. So the special branch was looking at file photos of this very important person named Phantasmarac.
Yeah.
And so, but they wanted to show Phantasmarac, and so Mr. Lobo, I'm guessing that we thought of, you thought of Mr. Lobo because I'm a horror host?
Well, yeah. I guess in 2005, I was just finishing the first chapter of Mark of the Dam.
Mark of the Dam.
The movie. And I was trying to figure out how to get it out to the right people. So I went online and I just typed in horror hosts, and I found Lobo's page. So I contacted him. And then we got to talking so much and became friends. And I'm like, well, I'm shooting another scene for the third act. Try to get you in there, but I can't get you in the show because you're on the other side of the country. I could put a photo of you in the movie. So we just had people talk about your character. Yes. That's how I could get you important to the movie.
People were talking, yes.
It's really strong hot chocolate.
Strong hot chocolate. So that is how I got
Pennsylvania
into
hot chocolate.
Movie. And then, of course, later on, he would end up having me in Taste the Blood of Frankenstein.
Taste the Blood of Frankenstein.
As a major character, in which we actually flew out to Virginia to be in that film.
You were also shooting Sean
Cott's
movie.
horror host documentary. Hi There Horror Movie Fans and Virginia Creepers, or
Yes.
Virginia Creepers first, and then The Taint. I think when I came out to do Taste the Blood of Frankenstein with you, I also shot my bit that is in Drew Bullock's
movie.
film, The Taint.
Did we do all that at the same
All
time?
that was all at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna go out to break. We've got some neighbors now, so it's gonna have real restaurant atmosphere, and we will be back with more Sleepless Nights of Insomnia after some more coffee.
What is it?
I don't know. Ejected from unexplored secret stratus, this giant, harder-than-steel piston disgorges strange creatures, inundating our world, twisting the emotions of women, distorting our men.
This is a piece we got off the mayor. Reflex action like a snake. Cut a snake in half and the two pieces go off in different directions.
These things take over a man's mind. He becomes a robot? A machine taking orders?
Join the hunt for the hiding place of terror. Find the breeding place of these globs of destruction.
In feeding, the mouth parts rupture the cells, convey the food to the stomach by a pumping action.
It's an adventure that'll burst your blood vessels with suspense. See The Brain Eaters.
And we're back. I finished my bottomless cup, found the bottom of my bottomless cup of coffee. We're here with Eric Miller, a filmmaker. We were talking a little bit about the...
Here's your
coffee is here. Thank you so much.
It is no longer bottomless. No longer bottom.
Yes.
How long was it?
It's topped.
It's topped.
Yeah, it was only maybe, I think it was only 15 seconds with a bottom on my coffee. So
They should have a cup of coffee. The bottom of cups of coffee should have words.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't drink coffee.
What did you just do?
Or maybe
I can't believe you drank all that.
Yeah. Maybe once the bottom is exposed, there could be an alarm or something that goes off.
That might be. They might have like a silent alarm. That might be why she was right there.
Yeah, exactly. She wanted to know. How long was it? It was 15 seconds.
So you came out to California.
I came out to Virginia from California. Stayed for, what was it, a week or two?
Felt like longer.
Seemed like 2 months.
You and Sean
Cotts
stayed at our place.
We did.
Yeah.
And we shot in Hollywood Cemetery in
Richmond,
Virginia. And shot wraparounds for only Virginia Creepers. I ended up coming out a second time to do Hi There Horror Movie Fans, which are both films that you can enjoy.
They're great.
One of them is about Bowman Body. And when I got off the plane in Richmond, Virginia, he was the horror host to beat. You know, I basically, people were saying, oh, you're a Bowman Body. Like, that is the name for horror host, is Bowman Body. And Bowman Body was in Mark of the Damned?
Yeah, we did a special screening of Mark of the Damned, and I wanted to be hosted. So this guy named Armstead Welford. Okay. I don't know if anybody's heard of him.
People who watch OSI 74 might know who Armstead Welford is.
Yeah.
Quick, let's plug this.
He also goes by Armstead Spotswood. He's also a horror movie host, haunting the Bird Theater in Richmond, Virginia. That's the midnight movie show that I've been producing for 6 years.
I remember when that was just like it was a natural evolution. You know, you were hanging out with horror hosts. You were putting a horror host in movies. That was the talking coffee cup.
Yeah, that's what I should say.
What do we win?
Yes, more coffee.
Another cup of coffee.
All your ideas are great.
You had your movie hosted by horror hosts.
Yeah.
And then finally it was like, okay, I want to make a horror host show. And I remember that phone call where you called me up and said, I'm trying to make a show. I know this weird guy named Armstead. I think he has the stuff to make an interesting host. And I said, well, you know, he sounds cool. He sounds interesting. And the only advice I had for you was to keep it really simple so that you could keep shooting them.
Yeah, I really should talk about this with Will, the other producer on the show, because he's very good at telling stories about how we got this to show the show. We can have another one about Will. Will can come on and fill in the gaps.
Never, no.
But I think Armstead had Bowman Body's phone number in his wallet. He had the phone number in his wallet.
So he was your contact for Bowman Body.
Right. Yeah.
You'd think Sean would be the contact.
Well, I didn't. I can't remember how I met Sean. I don't know if I'd met Sean yet.
Interesting. So you both came out Bowman Body from two different directions.
I believe so.
I was assumed that was.
We should call Sean right now and find out how I met him.
Dixie, get on there.
Yeah, Sean, we have a problem. He's like, of course you have a problem. Hey, who are you hanging out with? How long you been there? What are you doing with your life? So he, I got Bowman's number from Armstead. Armstead had the Bowman Body's phone number in his wallet for 10 years. He never called him. I don't know how he got that number. And, but I had a magazine called Rue Morgue Magazine. And on the inside back cover was a picture of a guy and a guy leaning over a coffin with a lady coming out of the coffin. And Armstead just wouldn't stop talking about this thing called the Bowman Body. I had no idea what he was talking to me about. We worked together with horses together at a park, and he would just talk about old movies and weird movies.
Now, is this Maymont where most of Mark of the Damned was filmed?
That's right. Yeah, we shot Mark of the Damned at Maymont Park because it had no lighting inside the park. Like we could control the environment, and we told the staff after the movie was finished that we'd been there. I worked there. We just didn't tell anybody. Yeah. We just went in and took care of it. The people who ran the park at the time eventually came to the premiere, liked it enough to have no problem.
They didn't take away the permission that they never gave.
Turns out the guy in charge of the park was a big MST3K fan.
Oh, good.
And he just found out about what we were doing and got super excited. And then he saw it and actually liked it. I was sweating. The premiere, I was totally sweating. Like, this guy's going to hate it.
This movie was put together in bits and pieces over
8 years.
Over 8 years. That is incredible. And so many of these independent movies, you either have to have $8 million or 8 years to make a movie. I think.
Yeah.
So many of these independent movies, many of them take 5, 8, 10, 12 years. Plan 9 that we did, we started on that in 2008. 2016 is when we finally got a domestic release on that movie. So a lot of people think that making a low budget movie is a lot harder than making a big budget movie by far.
It is true. So I got the number from Spotswood, and I called up Bowman, and I used the magazine as my in. I said, hey, I got a copy of this magazine, you're in it. And he said, you're the other guy who's got that magazine. So we met at a restaurant, and we just talked, and I guess I said the right things. He's like, sure, I'll do it. at that point, Bowman hadn't dressed up as the body like a decade or something like that.
Wow.
And so again, we went to Maymont, and one of the buildings inside had stone walls. And it looks, if you shoot it right, it looks like a dungeon. And so we shot this whole thing with Bowman and coming out of a coffin. I put the coffin on top of a table, thinking like it needed to be up high. And then he arrives. And I start thinking this won't work out. But he just pulls a chair over to the table and just climbs up on this table and does it. I'm like, I'm going to be the guy who killed the Bowman body. And then we decided that wasn't safe, so we put it on the floor. But it worked out great. He had a great time. He brought his own lines. We just had to catch it. We just had to capture what he does.
There was something very exciting happening in the early to mid 2000s where all the horror hosts were coming up out of their holes, and all the horror host fans were remembering how much they loved all those old shows. And so it's kind of exciting that you're kind of a central character in that horror host resurgence. I feel like I'm part of that. Sean was part of that.
Sean's a big part.
We were all in that wave of the Renaissance or the rebirth of the modern horror host. I think actually a little bit before that there was an earlier wave in the mid to later 90s, and then there was that second little. It finally came to a head around that 2005-ish time.
Armstead and I were both in Sean's documentary, not Hide Their Horror Movie Fans, but the other one. Virginia Creepers.
Yeah, Virginia Creepers, right.
Because there's a big segment about Bowman in Virginia Creepers.
Right.
And we got in it because I was the last person to shoot the Bowman body. And Armstead got it because he grew up in Richmond, and he had nice stories about watching the Bowman Body show.
Right.
How he learned how to play bass by watching Soul Train, and then he'd watch Bowman Body.
And learned how to play ukulele.
Yeah. And all of this he did with his dad growing up. So he and his friends and family would watch Soul Train together.
Wow.
And then watch Bowman Body.
Yeah. That's amazing.
And they shot so much Bowman Body for that documentary. Sean decided to do a whole documentary just about Bowman.
That was the story I got when we were making Virginia Creepers. Of course, everywhere we went, people wanted to talk about Bowman Body. And at some point, Sean said, "Okay, I've got like a 3.5 hour documentary, and an hour of it is about the Bowman Body. So why don't I take what I've got here on Bowman Body and branch it off and do a whole movie about Bowman Body?" And I think that is how Hide Their Horror Movie Fans came about. So that I guess that's not as much about Eric, but about I guess the whole horror host slash movement, and then Midnight Frights. You've been that show's been going for how long?
6
years.
6 years, yeah. Well, we can't really talk about Bowman. I can't talk about Midnight Frights without in Richmond. I cannot talk to people about Midnight Frights without bringing up Bowman.
Yeah,
because it's like if I say Midnight Movie Show, they'll be like, so it's at the Bird at midnight.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's like Bowman Body, and they're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
And that really only works for 50 and over,
theater,
though.
By the way,
it's the Bird. Okay, Bird Theater. It's this wonderful classic movie theater. Has a Wurlitzer. It was built in 1929, I believe. So it was built right when sound was coming in and silent was going out. So they have a Wurlitzer and a sound system when it was built. And I got the advice to just go to the Bird and ask them for permission to shoot our show there. And it was great advice. They said, fine.
Permission in advance this time.
Permission in advance. We actually did it correctly. And so we started shooting it at the Bird. It was like...
It's beautiful, by the way. If you get a chance to watch Midnight Frights on OSI 74, you get
hashtag plug.
Yes, hashtag plug.
Oh, boy.
You'll get your chance to see Armstead in action. You'll get to see a lot of Eric's sensibility, a lot of Will's excellent sensibility.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of down home, what I call down home absurdist humor.
Yeah. Spotswood is a great person to work with. I'm just going to call him Spotswood.
You're done, and here she comes. Look, there you go. That alarm went off.
Wow, that's incredible.
Talk about
service.
service.
It is like you could set your watch by the bottomless cup of coffee.
She's on top of it.
Thank you so much.
Another thing that Spotswood brings to it is that he's a musician. And if he can't think of how to like make the script work in a funny way, he'll just sing a song.
I admire that so much. I don't have any skills whatsoever. I always thought I should learn magic or be able to play music or do something because, I'm just filling dead air on Cinema Insomnia most of the time.
I don't know. The things you don't notice are where you're the hero, like all the art. All the little details, all the stuff that just kind of people just figured, oh, that's what's in a show. It's actually because you did everything. And it just, you can't credit yourself for everything. You look like kind of an asshole. So, but the thing is, you make everything everything about your show you build. Everything. I was up in your storage space looking at a sign. I'm like, wow, it looks like they had that professionally done. And Lobo's like, oh no, I had some markers and some cardboard, and I just did it.
Art is definitely, it's all an art, and we all have our skills. And yesterday we did a lot of cut and paste to put your movie together, and I guess we'll be talking about that when we come back with more Sleepless Nights of Insomnia.
Hey y'all. The man with the goodies is here. I got stuff you might want. Stuff that makes you feel real good. I got t-shirts. I got buttons. So you know what I can do for you? Every time you buy something, I'll send you a fan club membership card. So if you buy a patch, I'll send you a fan club membership card. If you buy an autographed picture with your name on it, and I've got your name, I'll send you a fan club membership card. And you can give that one to a friend. Remember, any friend of a Midnighter has got one friend.
Go to the OSI 74 shop to buy your Midnight Frights merchandise.
The fine family-run space for oddities, collectibles, retro kitsch, antiques.
Don't you mean eclectic crap?
We like to say one-of-a-kind items, Paul. Area 707. That's Area 707, located inside Cackleberry Antique Mall in Paradise, Pennsylvania. Please visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Area707PA. That's facebook.com/Area707PA. Come see us. There's Cinema Insomnia merchandise there too, and
eclectic crap.
That's right, at Area 707. Man, I'm ready to black out. I've had so much coffee.
Where are we at again? I forget.
We are at Aunt Jennie's Diner, Route 41. Come on, see us, y'all. It's a good place for the famous bottomless cup of coffee.
I see it's family owned and operated.
Family owned and operated.
I wonder since how long.
This is Route 41, Gap, Pennsylvania, 17527.
And if you want to fax them, 717-407-5413.
Send that fax right through. I want pancakes.
They're open 24 hours, so
yeah.
you can send that fax at any time.
That's right.
Actually, I don't think they're open 24 hours.
They're not.
They say they're open 24 hours sometimes. Well, not in a row. No, they are open for 24 hours at their busy times a year, and then sometimes they just give up and just go, okay, no one, we'll just ramp it down, save those hours. So Eric Miller, we worked on Taste the Blood of Frankenstein, which was a short that was going to be a feature.
Yeah, we were shooting a short that was 8 years ago. We all were hanging out.
8 years, we could have made the whole feature by now.
I know. What was going on was it was just time to try to make another movie after Mark of the Damned.
Mm-hmm.
I had some momentum. After making Mark of the Damned, I started meeting a lot of very talented people in Richmond.
Yes.
Making Mark of the Damned, I had a lot of help, but a lot of that help were from enthusiastic friends.
Yes.
And but none of them were filmmakers. None of them were in production.
Right.
So, but after showing the movie everywhere I could, I started meeting people in production.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I met some very good friends. Some of my best friends I've met because I made that movie. And so I'm like, well, if we're not all busy, let's make a movie together. So we got our act together and found some great locations, started building more props, and shot a short film called Taste the Blood of Frankenstein. Got that done.
Which I think we should put that up on OSI 74 so people can watch that.
Yeah. There's no hosted version of that, is there?
Not really, but I kind of hosted within the movie.
Yes, you
as
did.
The history revisionist.
That's right.
Mr.
Yes.
Lobo. I rap it.
Yeah. So we tried to. So I met Lobo. So we made him a feature character, and that was a good time. And then about a year later, after I made a cut of it, you came to town and everybody got together for like a little pizza, just get some pizza and hanging out, and at the end of that little party, it was decided that we're going to stretch it to a feature, because there's more story there was more story than movie. So we decided we'd start shooting again.
With Eric, there's always a lot more story than movie.
Yeah,
But
I was trying to stick to short film. So
Eric needs like the dark shadows of the amplified world.
I'd love to do it.
He just needs a serial so that he can just weave these millions of stories all together and they can all push each other forward, because he won't live long enough to tell all these stories.
I think Dark Shadows should be called Blue Candles.
Blue candles, yes. Pale blue candles.
Pale blue candles.
Yes, I guess because the red was too harsh on those old RGB cameras. They probably wanted to keep the reds down to not have them, so that it wouldn't burn in.
Even though the candles are lit.
Yeah, which burns, yes, which ruins the whole premise.
So we got started shooting more footage, and things are going fine. And then it was Easter. And Armstead and I were working the Easter event with the carriages, with the horses, and one of the programming directors at PBS got on the carriage.
Yeah.
And she said, "Hey, I got your movie on my desk." And I'm like, "What do you do?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "I work at PBS." I'm like, "Oh," because at that time, Mark of the Dam was showing at PBS twice a year.
Yeah.
Halloween and in the middle of summer.
Yeah.
So while she's on the carriage, I'm like, I'm in the Bowman Body movie too. She's like, "Oh yeah, Sean Kotz."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Do you think there's a market for a midnight movie show in Virginia?" She just said yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
What I found out was Bowman Body was her boss at one point.
Oh wow.
He was a big deal in production in D.C., Richmond, Petersburg, and the Beach.
Okay.
For like 20 years.
Interesting.
So he helped train a generation of producers in television.
Incredible.
And so there were 3 or 4 people at one station. That's our local PBS station. All worked under Bowman.
Oh wow, that's incredible. What a legacy.
So they're like, yes, absolutely. We've just been waiting for someone to do it.
Wow.
And so we got started, and in 2 months, we shot a big teaser and our first episode.
Wow.
And soup to nuts, everything. And then we stopped making Taste the Blood of Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, this is our chance. We're gonna make a TV show.
Well, one of the hardest things in production is distribution.
Yeah.
And if you've got a line of distribution ready, where you know where the end product is going to end up and where an audience is going to be, that is the hardest part. So if you've got that lined up and you've got a venue, you got to go and produce. And you guys did produce. And then something very interesting happened where my other son, Derek, needed a kidney.
Yeah.
And somehow, somewhere, some why, Eric, out of the blue, said, "I've always wanted to donate a kidney," which no one ever says ever. And he flew to California and stayed with my mom for what, months?
2 months. Yeah.
And gave up a kidney.
Yeah.
What a hero. Not only a horror hero, but a real life hero.
Was that a trial by fire before the donation?
It was fun. I got to have 2 springtimes and skip the whole winter. It was cool. California is nice in the springtime, and your mom's place is terrific. So that was a very good experience.
That was incredible. It's still surreal. We're celebrating we call it Frankenstein Day, or I like to call it Frankenstein Family Day.
Yeah.
Because we're the Frankenstein family. We are connected by transplant.
Yeah. And it's coincidental.
Relatives by transplant.
Yeah. And coincidentally, there's a character in the new project I'm doing that is a Frankenstein. So when we got together this weekend, we shot a scene for it.
Thank you so much.
So it was
Your order of butter came in.
Thank you. So it's an all-around Frankenstein weekend.
Wow, that's a lot of butter. It's like a softball size.
Well, you just ordered butter. That's all you're gonna get.
I guess they expect you to double fist it. She's got double of all silverware over there.
Welcome to Pennsylvania, everyone.
Just remember, you got to work from the outside to the inside.
Yes.
What?
Yeah,
When you eat butter?
place. Yeah.
Yes.
That's it.
Most things, really.
So yes. Oh my God. So so Eric is a very important person in both in my life in a lot of ways.
You bet. You bet.
But we had a very nice Frankenstein family weekend.
Yeah.
We shot some video, which is what people who are project obsessed do when they like each other.
Yeah,
They go on vacation.
Yeah,
they go on vacation.
We had a party, so we shot.
Yes.
Yeah, so in the afternoon we shot OSI. No, we shot Cinema Insomnia.
We did shoot some Cinema Insomnia. We freestyled a bunch of raps.
It was
for
cool.
Cinema Insomnia.
That's kind of how we shoot Midnight Frights. So.
They're pretty big. Yeah, it could be fun. It's interesting to see how it comes out.
Yeah,
because now we got to do that Zen filmmaking with one of your episodes. So
Yeah.
We got a beginning. Now we got to figure out a middle and end.
We got to figure out a middle and an end. But we got a great premise, and we'll have Eric Miller in one of our episodes.
Yeah.
Which is one of the benefits of being able to work on the fly is that you can take advantage of production value like a person who's in your house. And in Eric's version, take advantage of a giant steel coffin that's in our basement.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Here comes the food. Can we
worried.
go wrap up to commercial and come back?
No, we'll let them serve this off.
Oh, okay.
We'll wrap up in a
Wrap up for
All right.
Here's
Thank you very much.
Well, the food is
we got to
arriving.
do a little bit of fanfare here before we go to
How much fanfare?
There's that. What did you get?
I got chipped beef on toast.
Chipped beef on toast, and then a giant slab of crispy scrapple.
Crispy scrapple.
It's just like
Not just any scraps.
just off-white gravy poured over slices of toast. I don't know if there's probably parts of the country where they don't even know what that is.
Dylan got a pancake with bacon.
Yeah, actually, I think he's got the Happy Truckers special. You feeling like a happy trucker, Dylan? Oh, he's got this.
When you walking home,
You should see this disdainful
I'm not talking
head shaking and just. Dylan's giving me shade over here. Doesn't want to talk about his happy trucker.
Eric's pancakes. Do you think that will fit in a pocket?
boy, the doozies.
Extra butter
My
in the middle.
pancakes.
Your
Holy,
And the
thank
soup's
you.
very hot.
Thank you so much. This looks lovely. Thank you.
I guess the rest of us don't get any.
Yeah.
The rest of it, yes.
So let me
Cress
describe
and-
this pancake.
Cress,
So all the
Paul
listeners-
are left
It looks like
out.
it's like the size of a flattened basketball. It's huge. Oh my god! It's a cake. I have like half a cake.
My diabetes on a dish didn't come out yet.
Yeah. Well, now, what did you get, Paul? Again? French
Stuffed
toast.
Stuffed French toast.
Stuffed French toast. You are going to
I
kill
think I'm just
yourself.
gonna ask her for it to go.
We're going to have to
right
carry
away.
you. You're starting to sound like Aaron. You know, there's too many suicidal producers in our cadre
Oh, it's a
here.
winner.
Eric's is pretty up.
Oh, well, we're talking
He's the
about
most life-affirming
switching gears from making a movie.
producer that I
Here
know.
comes some more. Here we go.
Oh, wow. What is that?
It is the 2-spoon, 2-knife special.
2-spoon, 2-knife special. That looks incredible.
What do you mean you have to kill it yourself?
Like everybody?
And then this is the stuffed French toast. It's got what, blackberries or blueberries? Blueberries and strawberries.
That's a fun
and
one.
milk.
It's semi-healthy.
Yeah, it's a fun one.
Semi. You're gonna put syrup
I'll just
on
take
it.
a to-go thing right away.
All right, so now that everybody
Thank you
got
so
served, I guess we'll go eat. So we
Yeah.
want to go to
Yeah,
commercial.
it's time to eat our food, so we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna go with a break.
A to-go box for the second one. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for dining with us today.
Oh, is it
on
it?
No, we're not leaving. We're just going to have to break so
Okay,
that we
okay.
can have a chance to eat our food.
We're gonna
You
eat.
bet,
and then
you
we'll
bet.
come back.
So we're going to eat our food, and we'll tell you how it was when we come back.
If you were one of the millions of moviegoers who were electrified by the unbearable suspense and sheer terror of Jaws, get ready for Eaten Alive. Eagle bite! Mel Ferrer, Carolyn Jones, Stuart Whitman, Neville Brand. Created by Toby Hooper, maker of the screen sensation The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Marty Rustin presents a new horror classic, Eaten Alive. Into this house of terror comes a handful of unsuspecting innocents.
Hello?
What happens to these people in Eaten Alive will give you the most chilling, terrifying 90 minutes you ever spent in a theater. Eaten Alive, a VIP picture, rated R.
There's like a table full of happy food here.
Oh my God! Excuse me,
A lot
pardon
of
me.
extras.
Here you go, Dixie. Dixie wants the rest. I got about a quarter of my pancakes left. I'm gonna give that to Dixie because Dixie, Dixie didn't give you quite enough, or well, you shared some of yours with Dylan. Shared your scrapple with Dylan. If you ate all that scrapple, you'd be full. You ate some of his, you had a trade, meat exchange,
Meat swap.
Meat swap. Mm-hmm. Yes, very another Pennsylvania tradition, the old meat swap. Mm-hmm. Are you working in this restaurant?
Wow.
I can't not pre-bus.
A lot
Born producer.
waitresses do not like the pre-bus. They
now-
want to handle it themselves because they want to know exactly how that weight distribution.
I've never had anyone say that.
No, I'm just saying.
It was the first time for
Insider
everything.
tip?
That's an insider tip because I've worked at a restaurant.
Where are we at again?
Now you're
We gotta wait. We gotta wait for.
ruining Cress's life.
We need a hashtag plug here.
Aunt Jennie's Diner, Route 41, hashtag plugged.
Yeah, and don't forget to fax ahead for your reservations.
Yeah.
Mhm. Send
I
a
want
letter.
I want the happy trucker special.
Looking at this placemat, I want to know
And
what
in the syrup. I'm gonna be there.
What
in
is
6 hours?
What is hashtag Itchin's fence?
Okay.
What is hashtag?
I believe that is a letter. It's not Itchin's fence. It's Hitchin's fence. I think that hashtag is an H. This is. We're looking at the. Speaking of sponsored, the placemats are covered in logos for other local businesses.
Except for yours, which is covered in syrup.
Syrup and ads for local businesses. But yes,
So I can't put in hashtag Itchin's.
it's not hashtag Itchin's fence. That is supposed to be a fence. That is an H as a fence.
All right, pound sign?
I was talking about when I was a graphic designer, and like every local business wants like their pool, like if they're a pool cleaner, it's like, okay, I want the pee in the pool to be a
That's so
pool
gross.
net.
Why would you want to pee in the pool?
And then the O is a one kind of pool, and the other O is a sauna, and the L is my truck or whatever. And then of course you got to shrink that and put it on a business card, and you can't tell what anything is. And
It sounds like you've been to my local pool shop.
Yeah,
I think it's written in the subtext that every pool place has to have the P has to have
the P is a
net.
pool
It has
net.
to be the net.
Or put the little
I don't
water
know how many
wave,
business
underline
cards
it
I've
with
had
some
that
water
had the net
waves.
as the P.
It's like people who get tattoos, it's like I want the Tasmanian devil on a surfboard with flames,
All right.
and then he's got sunglasses.
Quit describing what's on my back.
And then he's got devil horns and an angel halo. Is that a whitest kids you know sketch? Because I feel because
Hashtag ripped off.
I feel like they ripped me off. But that is every tattoo where it's way too much going on. I've had to design tattoos for people too.
So are you pickling the placemat and we can eat it up later on? Is that the plan?
This placemat,
Be like candied?
it's actually going to be like Jurassic Park, where it's like amber. It'll like
You just got to stick it to the wall before we leave.
Yeah, this placemat will be preserved in a block of petrified syrup for future generations to decipher, and they'll be saying hashtag Itchin's fence.
Itchin's fence. So yeah, enough of my 5 minutes of jackassery. Back to the real.
Yeah,
subject
so
at
we
hand.
finished our meal.
Real
and
jackassery.
and we
Eric Miller wanted to talk about the differences between making a movie and a TV show.
Oh yeah, Eric Miller, tell us about the difference between making a movie and making a TV show.
Yes, Eric, tell us that.
We should clarify making a very, very independent movie and a TV show. Well, big thing about doing the Midnight Frights was you had an audience every week or every month, an opportunity to show your work monthly, and a deadline that everybody had to keep up with. So the energy level was always up.
Yeah.
And people knew that if they got involved with the show, they're going to get to see their work right away.
Right.
Turnaround it turned out to be a big factor.
Yeah.
And so that was the great thing about getting the deal with PBS.
That is the thing that has hurt me in my career more than anything, is when you are independent, you are your own boss.
Yeah.
And there's that goes both ways. When I was doing the shows for UATV, we had a contract with them. We had to deliver 28 episodes. And so at the end of every week, there was someone reaching their hand out saying, where's that episode? Where's that episode?
Yeah.
So, and so having that pressure of having that deadline, it was instrumental in those years being so prolific. Whereas when it's me and it's my show, I can just go, well, this week I don't have the microphone I wish that we had, or that one guy that I want to be in the episode can't show up, so we'll reschedule. And it's just it's a situation where it's never perfect, so you just keep waiting.
Yeah, we had many scripts where we only used maybe half the script for Midnight Frights, because we just had to shoot that day.
Yeah,
this is it.
And my boss is an asshole.
Oh, yeah,
he sleeps in. He never goes to work on time. I too am self-employed, by the way.
Yeah.
So that is the problem.
Constantly giving yourself raises.
Yeah. I mean, that's the perks, I guess.
Yeah.
He pays well.
Yeah. Well, he pays you diabetes.
He's diabetes.
Keep saying you're the number one employee.
But we've definitely I think that if you are a producer, it is good to get yourself into a situation where you must produce.
Yeah.
Because that will test your mettle, and you will have product.
Yeah.
And it may not be the product you want, but it's the product you deserve.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so making Midnight Frights has been a very good experience. And got a lot of, when we started, we're all working in production, and there are a lot of people that are very frustrated working in production. A lot of very talented people get into production and just end up paying the bills and doing well, but they end up doing well just doing mattress commercials or, selling things they wouldn't buy.
Right.
And so when you say why do a show on the side? And I know we all have real flexible schedules. Want to just help? And people would just show up with gear and show off.
So many people who make good money making other people's dreams come true.
Yeah.
Really get excited when they get to work on something where they get to be a little bit creative.
And the big plus with us was that it actually is on television.
Yeah.
Internet is great. I mean, that's really the way to get it to a lot of people.
Yes.
But still, in 2018, saying your show's on TV excites people in a different way. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say that too. I think that's why in the horror host world, Svengoolie has enjoyed such a resurgence, even though a lot of people can't even get MeTV.
Right. That's right.
Just that idea that it's really on broadcast television is very exciting to people, and that there is it's an active thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas internet, even though internet, we are getting into live casting and stuff with internet stuff, people sort of think of it more in the on-demand term. It's there when I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
Versus Friday night.
Gotta be there.
Gotta be there at whatever time. Exactly. So
Set the
appointment
VCR,
television.
if you own those anymore.
Yeah, we have to set the time on it first so that you can
Set the DVR,
set the
I
clock.
guess.
Yes.
It's fun meeting fans.
Yeah.
So we were at a festival. We were at a festival with you. We were at the Bowman Body show a couple years ago.
Yes.
And a lady working the event, she said, I like your show. I'm like, Midnight Frights? She's like, yeah, I'm a big fan of Spotswood. I'm like, wow, you watch the show a lot? She's like, yeah, I'm up late doing laundry a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just great.
It is great. It's integrated into people's lives. You hear from people who are up with illnesses, people who have babies, people who have to work late.
Yeah.
And
you're just there with them. You're with them.
And again, it's a companion. Eric and I were talking about this. Your movie host is your companion. And that is a big motivator for me. I want to be a good companion. I want to be present. I want to be active. I want to make more shows. And we're by hook or by crook, we're going to make as many of them as we can for you.
By hooker or what?
Oh, Paul. Oh, God.
I don't get the term.
Hashtag
That tag ball did it again.
Briefly, we talked briefly about Frankenstein Family Day on the channel OSI 74. Now that is the anniversary of the actual surgery, is the Frankenstein Family Day of the transplant.
That's correct.
But for the channel and in real life, April is Transplant Awareness Month, and we'd like to remind people that transplants can and do save lives, and so on the channel we will be presenting all of our Frankenstein programming for you all of April, and there will be some promos in there for Frankenstein Day, which is every day, because every day somebody's life is getting saved from a organ or tissue transplant. So that is something that is important. Certainly made a huge difference in my life, so that is something that hopefully you can share in the celebration, and tell people about it.
Very good, yeah. And the recipient is doing well.
Yes, Derek is doing well. He's doing so well that he's not here. He's just having fun somewhere
in California.
Can you share your story about post-surgery?
Post-surgery?
You shared that story last night. It was pretty.
Eric has become a lot less fun. I feel like Derek got the fun kidney.
He did get the fun kidney.
Yeah.
What was the?
You were saying about post-surgery, where basically the
recovery.
How you were recovering versus how he was recovering.
He was recovering. Yeah, I'm 20 years older than him, and man, like the day after we were all out of the hospital, I guess it had been about a week, and I'm sitting in a chair, a lot of painkillers, and I'm just kind of spread out, just trying to stay kind of comfortable, and there's Derek just all curled up in a chair, just smiling, just talking, like 19-year-old, real spry. And I didn't feel spry for 12 weeks. Man,
I don't know. Your spry levels are still low.
I guess so.
It's a lot harder on the donor than it is on the recipient.
Yeah, it's what, 4 years? 4 years now?
Oh my God!
It's been 4 years.
Been that long?
No, just three. Just three. And so 3 years out, everybody's doing great. So
Derek is 23 now.
Yeah, I feel
I
very.
have a 23-year-old son. I was embarrassed yesterday. I was talking to him on the phone. I was like, "You're 22 now, right?" He's like, 23, Dad. Like, oh my God. One, I feel like a stupid old person who doesn't know the age of your own kids. Two, it's like, oh wow, I can't believe my baby is 23 years old, and then I've got another baby here that's 17.
We're
grown babies.
Getting close to
at a table of grown babies.
We're getting close to winding down here, so I got a question for you, real quick, Eric.
Yes.
Do you have stickers? Do you
Of
have
what?
T-shirts?
Of the show?
Do you have stickers?
Buttons. We got buttons.
Got stickers.
We got stickers.
Things you might want.
Things you might want.
I'll tell you about that
things
commercial.
you might need.
You feel real good.
Make you feel real good.
So, spots.
Friend.
we were talking. We're like, guys, we need to make a commercial. We got to up our game.
Actually, I'd say I was telling you need to make it.
We were told to make a commercial. So get that merch going. So we're shooting an episode. I'm like, well, we got everything together. Let's shoot this commercial. And Armstead said he remembered a commercial for drug awareness.
PSA.
A PSA, thank you. PSA for drug awareness. Called The Magician or something from the 70s, and he described it from memory. He hadn't seen it since he was 5. And so I'm like, well, can you describe it to me? And he told me some stuff. I'm like, let's just shoot that. So we pretended we had a party, and Armstead came up and tried to be the pusher from this commercial. And we just shot it, like in 2 takes. And I just went ahead and edited it the way it would organically edit, which was very trippy. And then I saw the commercial, and it was close. It was close. But yeah, so that's how we made that episode, or that commercial.
It's really not the same at all.
At all, not at all. No, nothing like it, because it came out of his memory.
Yeah, and that's exciting. That's powerful when it's not how it was.
No,
it's your memory of how it was.
So when you see that commercial, that is Spotswood's memory
of how that magician commercial is. And we should probably try to find that magician PSA.
The original?
I think that is on YouTube.
Okay. It's good.
We'll have to see what our copyright strike hits with.
Yeah. You'd think a PSA, you'd hope you wouldn't get a copyright strike.
Yeah.
Good enough for you too. That's right.
You'd think so. You never know. Well, this has been really amazing. This is a milestone episode, a Frankenstein Day special, a restaurant special, a Eric Miller. Is our first in-house guest?
I believe so. Well, Aaron.
Aaron works on the show. He's not a guest.
But he's on the West Coast.
I guess Aaron.
But he got what?
Is
4
a guest.
No, he got 2 episodes.
2 episodes
Plus
in the car.
Plus one, plus the bit that we added to the third
first
episode.
guest with feet on the ground.
There we go.
So a lot
He's
of
a specialist. Can we call him a specialist, not crew? He's a specialist.
Yes, it's like an assassin.
Exactly.
You got your special deal that you got to call him in on.
Got to put this thing in the can.
Eric, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
For being a wonderful person and being part of our family and being on the show.
You bet.
And here's our other special guest.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yay! Our wonderful waitress.
This breakfast would never have happened without her.
Absolutely not.
No.
We would all starve to death, certainly. So thank you so much. Thank you, Dixie. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Cress. Thank you, Paul. Anything you want to say before we go?
No, just remember that fax your order to Jennie's Diner on Route 61 whenever you want breakfast.
No, 41.
41,
Yeah.
whichever, 14, 12.
Any number.
And ask for Jennie.
Yeah. You
Hashtag
could.
Jennie.
She's often up there.
She is often
She's
here.
often up there. Okay, I didn't know if that was just like a child's name. Jennie's been dead like 4 years.
No,
Sorry.
she's here. She's here, still hanging on.
So that's my 2 cents.
All right, well, thank you, Paul. We will be back next week with more Sleepless Nights of Podcast. Sleepless Nights of Podcasts.
You sound like me now.
Oh,
You're
man.
just butchering it.
Just totally butchering it. The best thing about being an insomniac is never having to say goodnight.
Good night.
You have been listening to the Sleepless Nights podcast, or should we say, pODDcast.
P'Oddcast.
Emphasis on the odd. Our theme is by Mars Homeworld at Dead House Music. Our opening announcement is by Ophelia Necro. She does a radio show called Suicide Watch. And you could reach Mr. Lobo at cinemainsomnia.com or find me on YouTube, YouTube/Mr. Lobo. MISTERLOBO. Mr. Lobo on Facebook, Facebook/MR.LOBO, or on Twitter, at Mr. Lobo, MISTERLOBO.
Or you can find myself, Paul Sanders, or better known as Bestow TV, at Bestow.tv, on YouTube/Bestow TV, on Twitter at Bestow Prod, PROD, and on Facebook, Bestow TV. If you want to place an advertisement with this podcast, and gosh, why wouldn't you? We could be talking about you right now. Contact us, Mr. Lobo at cinemainsomnia.com. That's MRLOBO @CINEMAINSOMNIA.com. Or support us on Patreon. Patreon supporters get to hear this podcast before anyone else and a lot of other great stuff, right, Paul? Sure.
Doesn't get it better than that, right? So come join the fun at patreons.com/cinemainsomnia. That's patreon.com/cinemainsomnia. Please stay up with us next week for another Sleepless Nights podcast. Or should we say, pODDcast.
P'Oddcast.
The best thing about being an insomniac is never having to say goodnight.
Good night.